Well, hey there. Good morning, BrickHeadz. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Are you ready to talk Lego? In fact, talk a lot of Lego today, because I know I am. It is a News and Rumors Monday, and this is an absolutely jam-packed episode. So real quick, before I want to get into it, though, I just want to say thanks. You know, whether you're listening in on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you're a visual person and you just like seeing this on the YouTube page because you like getting all those visuals. You know, no matter how you get this episode, I just really appreciate it. And today's episode, it's a big one. I mean, I am covering, I didn't count, but it's well over 20 sets today, probably closer to like 30 sets, honestly. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Usually I start with official releases, all the official images of all the new sets that are coming out. But I'm actually going to start with the rumors today and then get into all the official releases. So just as a reminder, today is December 8th, 2025. And if you are in the mood to go buy some Lego, I just don't want you to forget that here in a couple days, Wednesday, December 10th, the GWP set 4777, the gingerbread train ornament, that is going to be your GWP from the 10th to the 16th. So if you want to get your hands on that, it is a $75 spend on anything. So spend $75, get yourself a gingerbread train ornament. It is pretty cool. But like I say, that is the GWP for this week. So I just want you to keep that in mind. You can do that at the Lego store or online at lego.com. So anyway, here we go. Here's the rumor. And I am both so excited, but also there's a little bit of trepidation going on right now because I want to talk Lego architecture. And obviously the longtime listeners will know that architecture is like, it's my jam. Star Wars, I absolutely love it. Actually, that's what I have the most Lego in, but my heart is in architecture, right? If you're new to the channel and you are into Lego architecture, this is the right spot. Because like I said, I do podcasts every Monday and Wednesday. And whenever there's anything Lego architecture, I definitely want to talk about it. And this set rumor for 2026 is the biggest Lego rumor of the year. Yeah, I would say it's bigger than Lego Pokemon. Why? Because we're about to talk about the biggest Lego set ever to be released. If rumors are to be believed, here in 2026, we are about to get ourselves a $600 12,000 piece Lego set. 12,000 pieces. And so here's the deal. Since it's architecture, you're thinking to yourself, all right, well, we just had a 9,000 piece Death Star for $1,000. Now we're going to get a 12,000 piece architecture set for $600. So that's literally 5 cents per piece. So obviously we're talking whatever set we're going to get, it's going to be small pieces, right? Typical architecture style. And it's funny, the news for this broke probably not quite a week ago, just after I posted the last News and Rumors, maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday. And I immediately, like anybody does, start thinking, ooh, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? And I actually wrote down my list of my potential favorites. And then ironically, Brick Fanatics, it is a site I love and I go and visit a lot. I want to say maybe Thursday or Friday, they put out a whole article on what the potential sets could be. And I was like, I can't believe I only do these on Mondays and Wednesdays episodes. I was like, I totally had this list before you guys did, but say la vie, what are you going to do? But here's the deal. I am going to give you what I think could be my top 3. And here, Lego and churches and religion have been kind of an interesting thing. Usually Lego doesn't build churches. They just kind of tend to stay away from it, right? But with Lego Notre Dame, it kind of opened the window a little bit towards it. Like, they're not just going to build a regular Lego church. That's not happening. But if the building has also a historical significance to it, right? If it has an architectural significance to it, we could be seeing another Lego church. And I, like many of the people out there in the Reddit threads, believe the leading contender is going to be the Sagrada Familia. So that is a just beautiful, well, some people actually think it's a little gaudy, but a crazy, crazy cathedral in Barcelona, Spain. It's got the 12 spires, one spire for each of the disciples, and it's an architectural marvel that has been being built now for the last 150 years. So it's got kind of a crazy past to it, right? And so I, like many people on the Reddit threads, are thinking this would be a pretty big contender. And if not that, the only other church, like Brick Fanatics talked about the Hagia Sophia. I don't know how to say it. The large cathedral in Istanbul, which was originally a Christian church and then became an Islamic mosque now, one of maybe the largest dome ever created for a structure. Really amazing building for sure, but I don't know if that would be a contender as much as my other possible contender, and that would be St. Peter's Basilica. So St. Peter's Basilica, if you don't know, is basically the main basilica in the Vatican. That you've got the huge front courtyard area with the obelisk in front, and then you got the actual cathedral itself that contains, the Sistine Chapel and all that kind of stuff. So to me, if Lego's going to do a church, those would probably be my two leading contenders. And feel free to leave me a comment below. But I was also thinking, if they don't do a church, what is another building that we haven't gotten that we want, right? I really wanted Neuschwanstein. Okay, I did it. 2025, it reached it. But can I tell you, I think, because again, going back to that article I read, they were talking about the Great Wall of China or things like that. And I'm just I think that'd be kind of boring. Or the Louvre was another big one, but I don't think so. Honestly, I think if we went for a structure that was not a church, to me, and let me know if you think I'm wrong in this, I think Westminster Palace would be the leading contender. And here's why. We have had Big Ben in Lego architecture. It was a 700-piece set, basically was just the structure of Big Ben itself, and the bell and whatnot, but it didn't actually have all of Westminster Palace and the Palace at Westminster. I'm doing everything forward and backward today. But to me, even though we've had a Big Ben set twice now, the entire palace to me seems like a structure that would be worth building. And Lego is pretty well known for redoing sets like these. So, especially in architecture, I would not be surprised if this happened, if they were staying away from a church, that is. So, and if that wasn't the case, the only other thing that I was thinking, and this is the part that really made me frustrated with the article I read, because I was thinking the exact same thing, and that is the New York skyline. If they wanted to expand skylines and do a lot of micro scale buildings, the New York skyline is, to me, arguably the most iconic, the most recognizable skyline, maybe in the world. It's just so well known, and it'd be a perfect one to actually put out there if you were doing a big skyline. I don't know if you remember those 3D Puzz, right? The Rarebit 3D puzzles. I always remember wanting Neuschwanstein, and I built that. And then they had that big, huge, ultra New York skyline. And I just think in Lego format, that would also be pretty cool. So to me, those were the 3 and 4, honestly, if you include the skyline, that I think could be main contenders. But can you believe that? Like I say, a 12,000 piece set, $600. As an architecture completionist, I am both excited and also like, oh, my wallet, because I don't know where I'm going to put this because I don't have room for a 12,000 piece Lego set. But, first world problems, am I right? But anyway, that was the big rumor. And I wanted to lead with that, even though there are some huge, huge official reviews. Like I said, so much we need to talk about still. But that architecture, just leave me a comment below. I would really love to know your thoughts on what do you think a 12,000 piece Lego set could be that is actually would make sense in the architecture lineup, right? Okay, so there you go. Ooh, or maybe a falling water, an updated 12,000 piece falling water. I could totally go for that as well. But moving on from there, because we got a lot to talk about, and that is the big official reveal. And that, of course, is set 11371, this year's 2026 modular shopping streets. Soak it in. Take a look at these pictures. I'm putting them out on YouTube. It's an interesting set. It is two buildings set up as it's not a corner build, but it is kind of two buildings that are angular facing into each other. And you've got both a music store on one side where you've got all these little minifigs in there and they're fixing and buying little music instruments and whatnot. And then the store next to it is a furniture store. And in this furniture store, you've got the carpenter, and he's building his chairs and tables and whatnot. So really kind of an interesting, cool concept. I don't know if it is as cool or as impressive as 2025's the Tudor modular that we had. That was just pretty iconic, and so we'll have to see. I will say this. The set itself comes with 7 minifigs. It is 3,456 pieces for a measly $250. So that is only 7.2 cents per piece. So an absolutely stellar price and releasing here on January 1st. And I think people are really going to enjoy it. But is it as good as last year's set? Maybe not, but it is definitely solid. It's a good color scheme, would definitely look good next to like the Lego Brick Bank. That would be nice. You got those light tones with there, or maybe even the bookstore. But definitely interesting. The inside to me, it just feels slightly cramped, but you not only get those furniture stores, obviously, but you get the little apartments upstairs on the second floor. And then the third floor actually has a nice little like walkout balcony area, which I think is kind of funny. It's got a little pigeon coop, which feels very like New York City to me. But definitely a cool looking modular, and one that was funny. It was like, we got all these rumors about what it could be or what it was going to happen. And then suddenly it was just boom. They put out all the official images of like everything. So this week again was absurd because not only did we get the official images for that, but we finally got the official drop of 11370, and that was the Stranger Things Creel House. I talked about this set a lot last week, so I'm not going to get into it, but here you go. Here are the actual official images. So it is on the Lego site now. Again, 2,593 pieces. For this is a whopping $300, so 11.6 cents per piece. So a terrible value, but also coming out on the same day as the Shopping Street Modular. This, however, does have those 13 minifigs, all of your main characters from Stranger Things, and of course Vecna. And I got to tell you, seeing the videos for this set made me much more excited. I, like most of you, were probably going, really? $300? That's like really expensive. And it is. It's a terrible price. But from a design standpoint, it's actually a pretty cool set. Like, you can have it displayed as the house, and then you actually literally can pull it apart. And it's got enough Technic movement structures in it that the house can just pull apart and push back together as much as you see fit. Like, you don't have to do much to it. You literally just pull and push. And if that wasn't all, like, the trees actually fall down as you pull the house apart and then come back up as you push the house in. And then on the back side with the rooms, you get Mr. What's-It, but when you pull the house apart, it's got a little circle part in there where Mr. What's-It can disappear, and then you have Vecna appearing. So, like I say, a really cool design. I'm really happy with how the set itself looks, but it's definitely $50 too much. $300 is just, it's a little absurd, to be honest with you. But it's nice that we finally got the Creel House official images. And if you do want to get it day one, it's got a pretty decent gift with purchase. That is set 40891. That's the Squawk. That's the radio station that is run by Robin and Steve. But since you already get Robin and Steve in the Creel House, in this set, which is 234 pieces, you get Hopper and Joyce. So you do get 2 minifigs with this. Now, I will say, I'm a little bummed that they didn't include Murray in this. I think that would have been absolutely phenomenal, because at this point, he's about the only Stranger Things minifig that we haven't gotten. But I am glad that we don't have all of the overlap. So Hopper, not the greatest looking minifig, but you got his big beard and whatnot. He looks a little Santa Clausy, but you get Joyce as well. And then it gets a little couch and the little radio station where you can set them up and do that as well. But if you, again, want to purchase the Creel House day one, you will get the radio station, the Squawk, the GWP with that purchase. So keep that in mind. And while we're on it, if you're a Stranger Things fan, that's not all. Like, we got the 4 boys, the main characters, BrickHeadz already, right? And so now our second wave of Stranger Things BrickHeadz is coming out as well. And that is set 4879. That is 11 Max, Holly, and another Demogorgon. And so $40, 584 pieces, regular price for a BrickHead. Obviously, Max and Holly are our new BrickHeadz. We have not seen them before, but we have, if you were into BrickHeadz back in the day, along with the first Stranger Things set, the Upside Down, right around that time period, we did get an 11 and a Demogorgon already. So technically, they are both repeats. However, the original Demogorgon is done in the tan, the dark tannish color, while this Demogorgon is a little bit more, I would say, impressive, a lighter color. The elements that they use in this are the flower elements to show his giant, like, flower mouth, if you will, versus how they set it up in the first one. So a definite improvement on the Demogorgon BrickHead, even though, like I said, I don't know if we asked for it, but we're going to get it. And at $40, that is your usual BrickHeadz price, which is good. But maybe you're not into Stranger Things, but you are into BrickHeadz. I do have bad news. That is, we are getting set 40992 Angel. That is the BrickHead, the little alien from Stitch. That's the little pink version of Stitch. And here's the bad news with it. Like, I love that we're getting Angel, but the bad news is it's on sale for $13. Y'all, that's a big deal. BrickHeadz, they're finally making the move. Like, we got our first BrickHeadz almost a decade ago. And it has been the one theme that has not gone up in price, which was always awesome. You could count on a $10 BrickHead, and even this 4-pack of the Stranger Things set is still $40. But here with Angel, it is our first ever BrickHead that we're getting that is more than a $10 set for a single BrickHead, and it's going to be for $13. So I'm not excited about that. Really kind of upset that it's probably a sign of things to come here in 2026, but just letting you know. All right, and then in addition to that, we still have a lot to cover. I do want to just say, to midi-scale sets, if you're tuning in on YouTube, I have a midi-scale, that's M-I-D-I, midi-scale Millennium Falcon in front of me. Those are very popular sets, definitely, again, expensive price per piece. But if you like these midi-scale sets, we are going to be getting an AT-AT midi-scale set. That's 75440. It's going to be 525 pieces at $65, so 12.4 cents per piece. But if you like your AT-AT, finally getting that midi-scale sale. And then let's say you can't afford the UCS Venator because it's like a $600 set. Hey, you can finally get set 75441, and that is the midi-scale Venator set, which is going to be 643 pieces, but also at $80. So again, another 12.4 cents per piece, which definitely, these are not cheap for what you're getting, but I do like the scale. It is really nice, and especially nice for people who may be a little more cramped on space. Like, they can't just display a 3-foot long UCS Venator, but they love the ship. This gives them an opportunity to buy it on a scale that is a little bit easier to display. You're just going to pay for it for sure. So I'm going to leave, those are 2 official releases. We will come back to Star Wars because I'm going to end this episode with Star Wars, but I do want to also bring up 2 other interesting sets that I had spoken on just a little bit in previous weeks, and that was set 4920. We finally got images of Bugs Bunny. I don't know if you remember last year around Valentine's Day, we got a Tweety Bird character. It was a little Tweety from Looney Tunes. He was a little Valentine's Day guy, had his little bow and arrow. Now we're getting Bugs Bunny, and it's the iconic image of him poking his head out of the hole, chewing on a carrot, which is classic Looney Tunes. It is a 605-piece set, $40, only 6.6 cents per piece, and looks pretty cool. So if you're a Looney Tunes fan, hey, you're getting a little Looney Tunes fix, which I think is kind of neat. But moving on from there, maybe you're not Looney Tunes. Maybe you like Technic. There is a Technic set that I'm very excited for, and that is set 4221, the NASA Artemis Space System rocket. 632 pieces, $60, 9.5 cents per piece. This set is cool. Like, it's a little over a foot tall, but what makes it so interesting is, in true Technic fashion, it's operational. And so you can launch this baby, and as it goes up, it shows how the actual booster rockets detach from the main engine. And then, if that's not all, on its next stage, it will release the capsule on top and show that in its full display. So I'm really excited for that set for sure. And if you like the Technic sets, there are a lot more that are coming out January 1st as well that I just don't have time to cover today, but you definitely want to go check those out. And again, all of these sets I've talked about so far, January 1st releases. So, not to rush through it, but we have 2 other really big things that I want to talk about. And the first is Lego Editions. That's right. We have an official new theme to Lego, and it is Lego Editions. And this is all centered around sports, and more specifically, football, or soccer for us Americans. I talked about set 43019, the ball with the stadium inside it. That set we don't have images for. It is 1,498 pieces, $120. That's what we thought. It's actually going to be $130. So that's a little clarification from last week, which puts us at 8.7 cents per piece. But what we did get images for was set 43020, the World Cup trophy. And this is a big set. I talked about it last week, 2,842 pieces. We thought it was going to be $180. It's actually going to be a $200 set, 7.0 cents per piece. So again, not a bad buy, but it is mostly a lot of yellow 1x2, 1x3 brick to give you basically a 3D, it's the World Cup trophy. It's interesting. I don't know how much I love it. They decided to use the stud version instead of making it like a smooth tile. you've got studs on the outside, which is kind of more akin to sets that we were getting 20 years ago. I think of Darth Maul, which is hanging out behind me, where you get all the studs actually showing, or the old Yoda, versus what we get now, which is like with Mario sets or Bowser, where it's like a lot smoother tile. So we'll see. It also comes with a minifig. This guy actually hides inside the ball of the trophy itself, and so he can actually come out, which is also kind of cool. But I think this is one I may just have to see in person. I had also talked about we were getting some tinier sets in this Lego Editions, and I thought they could have been BrickHeadz, but turns out they're diorama sets, and they are a diorama set featuring a single soccer player. We've got 430111 featuring Messi, 12 is featuring Ronaldo, 13 is featuring, and I'm going to screw up his name. I screw it up every time. Mapepe. I am going to get destroyed in comments for that. I already know it. I apologize. Feel free. Phonemically, let me know. And then 27, which is Vinny Jr. And they are going to be $30 diorama sets. And so that will also be interesting. We haven't gotten official images of those. But maybe you're like, well, those things don't do it for me. Hey, do you like 2-in-1s? Because we're not done with Messi and Ronaldo. 43015, we are getting a Lionel Messi sculpture, which is supposed to be a 2-in-1. 958 pieces, $80. Okay, and if that wasn't all, 43016 is going to be a Ronaldo sculpture, also a 2-in-1. So you can switch these around, and this is going to be $854, 854 pieces for $80. We'll see. And if that wasn't all, and still in the Lego Editions theme, I believe, and not in Lego art, we're going to get Messi art for $200. So I let me know. Are you excited for that? Like, I get the partnership with Nike, and they released some of these Nike Dunk sets and whatnot, and they feel like little one-offs. But now to get this like whole theme around soccer, and I get it. Soccer is, again, the world's most popular sport. It's kind of cool. I like that they are doing it on a World Cup year. That also makes lots of sense. But I'll be interested to see both what the dioramas look like and what the 2-in-1 looks like, and then what Messi looks like. Like, I picture the art sets with the Beatles or Elvis or Marilyn Monroe, but just a little souped up, a little bit more 3D. That's kind of what I picture. So we will see. Lego Editions, the new theme, more to come on that. All right. I am flying through. I apologize. Usually I spend a little more time on each set, but there's just a lot that I wanted to cover with you today, and a lot that just dropped this week. And the very last thing that I want to talk about could both be a game changer for Lego in the best of ways, or another critical failure. And I'm definitely going to talk more about this technology here in future episodes, but we need to hit back on Lego Star Wars. I don't know if you know this, but Lego is really doubling down on the Lego Smart Brick. And if you've never heard of a Lego Smart Brick, it is different than a sound brick. So you push on a sound brick, like in Soundwave or the Harry Potter sorting hat. There are a set number of sayings or sounds that are produced from the sound brick. Pretty simple technology, does raise the price a little bit. But they are doubling down on this technology, and they are putting in what they call a smart brick. And these smart bricks they have wireless charging capabilities. They are able to interact with your phone, I'm assuming through an app, and also interact with the play of the set, meaning, if you're flying it around, like it will have interactions in that way. It will make sound, but I'm not quite sure how. There's like, it should be interesting. I'm still looking into it, trying to figure out how they are doing this, but here you go. There is a March wave of Star Wars sets that are going to be released, right? And let's talk about this. There are 8 Star Wars sets in this March wave, and all of them are either going to have smart brick technology or smart tag technology, which means they should all be able to interact in this new ecosystem. And so the first one is set 75421, and that is Vader's TIE Advance. It is a 473 piece set. Here's the deal. It comes with a smart brick for $70. It is 14.8 cents per piece, and that is why I want to bring up the smart brick. It's really making these sets like that were already super expensive even more expensive, like way up there. 473 pieces for $70. We'll see. We have 423, which is Luke's X-Wing at 584 pieces, supposed to be $100. That's 17.1 cents per piece. 17.1 cents. I need you to absorb that information for a second. A less than 600 piece set for $100. And obviously, these are early rumors on these March releases. Price may change, as it always seems to with Lego, but these are the initial rumors that we're getting out. 427, the Throne Room Duel, 962 pieces, $150. That's 15.6 cents per piece. This one's rumored to come with 2 smart bricks, which seems a little strange to me, but we will see. Set 420, Luke's Land Speeder, 255 pieces, $40, 15.7 cents per piece. This set doesn't even come with a smart brick. It's supposed to come with a smart tag, and that smart tag still is supposed to work in conjunction with not only the smart brick, but the smart brick technology. And so we will see. And then set 24, 424 is the ATST, 347 pieces for $50. That is 14.4 cents per piece. That's crazy. Smart tag only, no smart brick. The Dagobah Training, 440 pieces for $70, 15.9 cents per piece, only comes with a smart tag. And then the last 2 are big ones, y'all. 425, the Mos Eisley's Cantina, 666 pieces, $80 at 12 cents per piece, which is a little bit more normal for a regular Star Wars set. So we'll see on that. And then last but not least, this price to me I don't think could be right because it just doesn't make sense. But again, the 75 is the number in the front of all of these, but the 426 Millennium Falcon. And it is supposed to be an 885 piece set, so slightly bigger than the midi-scale set that's sitting next to me right now. But that's for $100. That's only 11.3 cents per piece. And now it comes with smart tag technology apparently, but this also is not supposed to come with a smart brick. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. Now, and I don't know the complete capabilities of what the smart brick and the smart brick technology are going to do, but the question will be, is it worth the price? Like Mario Brothers, for example, the Mario, I can't even call them a minifig, but the Mario character that has the electronics inside, those are really expensive. And, you didn't see that change the entire world. It was a thing that was interesting, but something that I don't think really paid off for Lego. It will be interesting to see if people are paying for this, or Will it be a massive flop? Let me know in the comments. Are you willing to pay, if you want Luke's X-Wing, are you willing to pay $100 for this 584-piece set? Because it comes with a piece of technology that the regular Lego doesn't have. And I don't know, because it says it has wireless charging. What are the accessories that are going to have to be bought to go with this? So I'm a little alarmed by it, but I'm not like super worried, because I just personally don't think it's going to be successful. I think it's going to be a one-off. I think it's going to be interesting. And I never mind that Lego is trying new things, but it's funny, like, it's already so much money for Lego. Like, we are already spending so much, and it's only getting worse here in 2026. And so now you're going to put a piece of technology in it and amp up these prices even more. I don't think people are going to buy it, but I could be wrong. You let me know. But that's how I want to end this. Yeah, Lego Star Wars, smart brick technology, little absurd. But other than that, there's so much. There was so much today. Sorry, I felt a little rush, I know. But just to review, we talked architecture and a 12,000-piece Lego set. Our modular got released. The Stranger Things stuff got official releases. BrickHeadz changed their price for the first time in a decade. We have new Looney Tunes stuff. We have an entire new Lego theme in Lego Editions, and we have an entirely new technology in the Lego Smart Brick. And yes, all of that pretty much dropped this week. That's absurd. 100%. That is just crazy, crazy amount of news in 1 week. My head's spinning a little bit. You let me know, out of everything I talked about today, what are you most interested in, or what are your takes? I love it when you leave me comments. I absolutely try to answer every single one. I really try to answer it within a day, but life has been busy, but I get to them as fast as I can, I promise you. And I do love the interaction. So I highly encourage you, leave me a comment. I love chatting with you, but I'm going to leave you with that. And until Wednesday, which, tune in, this Wednesday should be a fun topic, because it is a wild card Wednesday, totally random, fun little topic that is not a set review. So, but until then, I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, and I'll see you Wednesday, y'all. Bye-bye.